Oh, you've done it now, Johnny.
Welcome to the Breakdown with Jay and Nell, where we'll discuss all of your NFL and NBA news.
Tap in if you want to get to the breakdown.
Welcome to the Breakdown with Jay and Nell. I'm Jay. Today, guys, we'll give you some weekly training camp news, things that are going around in the league for training camp. But before we get started, how was your week, Il?
Man, my week was very long. Still a little bit tired, but it's okay. How about yourself?
My week was good. Just getting used to taking my daughter to school. That's that's a whole new dynamic that's added to added to me and my wife's schedule. So still trying to get acclimated to that. But other than that, things been going good. Ready for the season to start. And just a lot of stuff that's been going on during the week. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing we're going to discuss is the Buccaneers finally extending defensive tackle Vita Vea. They signed him to a 1-year, $30 million contract. He currently had a year left on his current deal, so basically they have him for the next 2 years. What are your thoughts about that?
It's about time, and he's a big piece of your offense or your defensive line. So he's a tenured employee. Why not keep him around? And he's still good. Like you can't
Yeah,
pass that up. Pay the
yeah,
man and keep it moving.
yeah. All right. Next thing we're gonna discuss is cornerback Tarion Arnold. He did sign with the Seahawks last week, but he just the deal has been put on hold because we all know Arnold has legal troubles. So he's been placed on the commissioner's exempt list. So what that means is he's ineligible to play or practice at the moment. What are your thoughts about that?
That's a very sticky situation, and and he still has time to grow from that and learn from that and get better. I'm glad that the Seahawks took a chance on him, but I think that he is going to be good, and that he is going to get through this situation, and then come out a lot better from it.
All right, repeat that last part because I lost you for a second.
I'm sorry. He's gonna get through it, and they're doing exactly what they should be doing. Like that's a very serious situation, and he's gonna have to get through it.
Yeah. Uh, let's. I don't know how his situation is going to end, but if he does end up in a suspension, then it just sucks for him, and he has to do a better job with his decision making and things he chooses to do. But if he's like let off free or gets like a slap on the wrist and is not suspended for a lot of games, then take advantage of this opportunity that another team wants to take a chance on you. So
Yeah, I agree. And it sucks because he's not a bad football player. Like, he's a really good football player.
He is good.
And he's
But
still young. That's even better.
yeah, yeah, he's only like 24 years old. So we'll see. We'll be keeping tabs on him, and we'll update y'all as soon as we get the information. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Indianapolis Colts. Their star tight end, Tyler Warren, is dealing with a groin injury. Um, the goal is to have him ready for week 1, but the team is kind of somewhat unsure. He suffered an injury this week in practice, a joint practice against the Falcons. But now
Uh-huh.
we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two of their wide receivers are dealing with injuries as well. And man, just the amount of injuries that are going on during training camp is crazy. But Metcalf is dealing with an undisclosed injury, and Michael Pittman is dealing with a hamstring issue. But they're both expected to play on opening week against the Falcons. So, what are your thoughts about that? And what do you think about the duo of DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman?
First and foremost, that whole team is older, so the fact that they're getting injured left and right is not good. As far as DK Metcalf's injury, we don't know what it is, but he's gonna bounce back. Same with Michael Pittman, and they're gonna play ball.
Yeah. Uh, this is a very interesting uh, duo because they're kind of somewhat similar, somewhat. DK Metcalf is a big physical receiver. Michael Pittman, he has nice size to him, but and they both got good yard after the catch ability. But I think Michael Pittman will probably be used more as a deep threat, and it just all depends on Aaron Rodgers and his health. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a solid offense. Those two receivers, the tight ends and the running backs. So I mean, it's good that they'll be ready for week 1 because it's the first week of the season, and you don't want to be missing a lot of players, especially those two players.
Yeah, I agree. Like, missing out on those types of players is horrible. Nobody wants that. And you want everybody to be at their full capacity, especially in the
Yep.
beginning of the season. Now, in the middle to the late in the season, you can understand the injuries, and it's kind of more expected.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna move over to the Houston Texans now. They lost a crucial piece to their offense. Wide receiver Jaden Higgins, uh, the rookie from last year, second round draft pick, tore his ACL in Tuesday's joint practice with the Raiders. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Crazy the fact that he's only in his second year and he's already dealing with a significant injury like that is wild. And it hurts the Texans because they're still without Nico Collins. So it's definitely making DJ Stroud have a hell of a hell of a wake up call.
Yeah. Um, I guess what somewhat sort of good news is that they're getting Tank Dell back.
Uh huh.
We all know he wrecked his knee last season. I mean, well, he missed all of last season. They're getting Tank Dell back, so that's good. But Jaden Higgins, he had a good rookie year. He was solid. Had over 500, 600 yards receiving, a few touchdowns, big target, and yeah, you have Nico Collins, but it's like, who do you have outside of him? And Higgins was expected to be that guy, to be the number two, but now
Uh-huh.
you're depending on Tank Dell, and we don't know how he's gonna look coming back from his injury. So yeah, Texans, they got it rough. You know, that sucks for them that they lose a big time piece like that to the offense.
It does. It definitely does.
All right. Let's move over to, and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to bore y'all with all the injury news, but it's just so many injuries, and these are some big time players too. These are not like scrubs or anything like that. But Chargers, they lost their, well, potentially they could have lost their starting center, Tyler Biadasz. He suffered damage to his ACL and other injuries to his knee, and the Chargers are ruling him out indefinitely. So don't know for sure that he tore his ACL, but there is some damage there. And it just sucks for the Chargers. It seems like every year an offensive lineman or a couple of offensive linemen get hurt. They lost their two starting tackles last season during training camp. So it's like, it's been rough for the Chargers. What are your thoughts about that?
They they have the worst luck when it comes to offensive linemen. Like they can never catch a break. It's like they don't do well. They do everything else good, but that they get to that department, then it's oh not good. Which is
Yeah.
crazy, man. Very crazy and wild.
It sucks for them, and it really sucks for Justin Herbert. I don't think he has had a full season with his offensive line being fully healthy. I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And it's gonna suck if Tyler Biadasz is out for the season. You out with your starting center, and I believe the center before that he retired, so they signed Tyler Biadasz in the off season during the free agency period. So he hasn't even been able to take a snap with the Chargers yet, and he could already be out for the season. So
That that that's wild. Wild, I don't know what.
yeah, but I'm about to go back and look up the numbers, but I'm pretty sure Justin Herbert is one of the highest sacked quarterbacks in the league. So I gotta go back and look that up. But y'all stay tuned for that. I'll probably make that a social media post. So y'all just look out for that. All right. Um, a couple of more injury news, and then we'll start talking about other things. But Saints running back Alvin Kamara, he sprained his MCL. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So yeah, what are your thoughts about that?
Craziness, man. It's just injury central. This year, I think you have more injuries than any other year currently that I know of, at least. And it's just wild, utterly wild. But it's a part of the game, so you can't really get mad. But you're like, dang, at least let me wait to the middle of the season.
Just started running back, and Kamara was going to be a backup anyway. So, but it still sucks that he's injured. So hopefully he can come back strong and he'll be ready by the time the season starts. which is good news for Saints fans. But I'm interested to see how that backfield is going to play out between ETN and Kamara.
Yeah, it's always wild in the NFL.
Yeah. All right, we get a break from some injury news. Let's talk about Trayvon Diggs. He signed with the Seattle Seahawks. Uh, we all know he was cut last season from the Cowboys. He signed with Green Bay. I think maybe he played like a couple of games with Green Bay, and then they ended up cutting him too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think
so yeah, what are your thoughts about that?
he's an insurance policy. So just in case if the Tarion Arnold situation doesn't work out well, they got another backup. And I hate the fact that he's a backup like now, you know what I mean? Like so
Yeah,
basically that's what he is. He's just a backup. If the Tarion situation doesn't
yeah,
work out well, then boom, he can slide right in and get those snaps.
yeah. I agree. I agree with you. I think he's a backup plan too for Tarion Arnold. And it could be, yeah, he's just a placeholder until you see what's going to happen with that situation. And he still has to go out there and prove himself. He can't just go out there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna automatically make the roster." No, they signed you during the middle of training camp, or probably towards the end of training camp for some teams, but
Uh
sign you during the middle of training camp. You got to prove yourself. You haven't been around the team long enough, so you can't just go in there and thinking that you have a starting job. You have to earn it. We're going to talk about the 49ers, and then we're going to talk about the Cowboys, and then we're going to close out the show. But let's go ahead and talk about your 49ers. Kyle Shanahan came out this week. He was saying that um, Mikhail Williams is progressing well, but it doesn't look like he's going to be good to go for week one. So, what are your thoughts about that?
I expected it, especially with the injury that he sustained. I didn't figure he wasn't going to just jump right back up and come play. Like it was gonna take some time. A little bit longer than what everybody expected. But I am glad that he's doing well.
Yeah, um, I'm glad he's doing well too. And it's a long season, so there's no reason to rush him for week one. I know you want him out there, and he probably wants to be out there himself, but it's smart to take the cautious approach and take things slow and not try to rush things because if you rush to come back, 9 times out of 10,
It
you
will
go
work.
suffer a worse you go suffer a worse injury than you did before, or you go re-aggravate that injury. So it's
Yep.
smart to take things slow.
Yep. I agree.
All right. I don't know if you've been paying attention to social media like that, or just been on Twitter or anything like that. But there has been a lot of fights going on in practice this week. A lot of teams are doing their joint practices with other teams, and Tuesday's joint practice with the Cowboys and the Saints that went viral for what happened during that practice. One of the Saints players ended up body slamming one of our players, uh, basically like a wrestling move. And
Mhm.
helmets were flying and all kind of things. In the league, they disciplined the Saints and the Cowboys. They're fining. them 500 K each. So, what are your thoughts about joint practices and these teams getting into fighting with each other?
Happens every year. Nothing can change, no matter how you look at it. Every time that they join practice, somebody's gonna fight. They're not the only one. They're just the one that got the most attention. Happens every year. You dealing with
Yeah,
egos and you dealing with people with money. It come with the territory.
yeah. Um, I like the idea of joint practices. It brings out that competitive fire. And I know you get tired of going against your teammates every day in practice. So to have a practice just to go up against another NFL team and see what they throw at you defensively or offensively, getting different looks and testing your offense and your defense, I think that's good. As far as the fights, it's expected. Like we see teams, they fight each other almost every day in practice, or every other day it's a fight, like doing Cowboys practice or something like that, just for an example. So it's kind of like you get time to like release some of that anger against someone other than your teammate. So, like you said, it's expected that these fights they happen. It's football. They ready for the season just as much as we are ready for the season. So there's a lot of frustration out there. But I feel like the punishment was was needed. So I don't feel like the league was being harsh or anything like that because they could have suspended players, but I guess they felt like it wasn't that um, egregious like that. So
Yeah, I agree, man. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. Take the slap on the wrist and keep it moving.
yep. Is there anything else you wanted to add or anything?
No, not that I can think of. But thank you guys for continuing to support us. We love you guys. You can follow us on all of our social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're on all of those sites. Come holler at us. We enjoy it. And we will holler back at y'all.
Yeah, we really appreciate y'all. Our views have grown for the past couple of months, so we appreciate y'all really tapping in to the show and watching us. We will keep dropping this fire content for you guys. We're getting closer and closer to the season. Um, about a couple of weeks away, and season will be starting. So I'm excited for that. I'm ready for the real games to start. I am enjoying the preseason, but it's nothing like the real games being played.
Yeah, preseason is cool, but regular season is way better.
Yep. Okay, I'll have to look at my TV and be like, "Oh, who was that? Oh, number 35. Oh, okay. Don't know who that player is, but I'm happy he made the tackle."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys. We'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all be safe and y'all be blessed.
Bye, guys.